Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We are live back in the flesh, live and direct. What's good? We blessed?
All good.
I realise we never introduced ourselves, but I'm not into all of that. They knew who we are.
People know
the
by
name.
now,
It pops up anyway,
up.
but can't lie. I'm in a silly mood. I've always wanted to see, one of these like kind of Sky Sports sort of just so subtle. They thought it was over. They thought they could do it. They were so close. But you know what? They weren't close, man. Let's bloody have it. Let's have it.
I didn't put my Rubicon away.
Let's have it. It's a beautiful morning. Listen, if you're listening in the morning, have a lovely day at work. Listen, if it's the afternoon, listen, man. It's a beautiful morning.
This feels like lean in that. Let me mix
It's a beautiful morning. Oh my word.
Little wildin'.
Oh my word, it's a beautiful morning.
Celebrating draws now.
Oh no, it's a beautiful. No, I'm not celebrating Chelsea. I'm celebrating. Oh man, there was so much noise.
Pop that open.
So much noise. Production, you want?
Yeah, come busting.
Let me just.
This guy even brought. This is
Man bought
fresh
the cat
African.
he went all out.
These are them ones that I know you've been using.
Courtesy of the company, but
2020
listen, man,
budget spent.
the only
Yo,
place,
pop
there's
that
only
open.
one place to start, man.
Mix that like
course there
scissor.
is.
Like scissor.
Free. Yeah, it's here still here. Free. Oh, Matting. 3-0. And
I just got a
I
little.
think it's only right that we start with. I think this season on Stoppage Time we've been in formidable form. I think we were probably very, very vocal in the urban football community about Nigel Pearson.
That dirty
and saying
sprite.
he's a
It's the dog's
That's
what, March
dirty.
Madness.
That's the, hey, it's my, hey, listen, it is much. Hey, that's
Listen,
that dirty
we were
sprite.
vocal about it. We said, you know what, Nigel Pearson, just a real man. He gets people playing and whatnot. But there's someone else I need to shout as well before I shout Nigel. David Moyes, because
Big up
last week's
Moisey.
performance.
Big up Moisey.
Last week's performance was essentially the blueprint to say, you know what, just get these guys' faces.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
in there. And you know what? I rate what John Barnes said. He said, listen, we can't even talk about Liverpool
John
today.
Barnes.
Let's talk about Watford. I can
don't-
rate
we
what
don't-
he
we don't-
said.
we don't
He's
talk
been
about
In fact, you know what?
anything that
I
John
can
Barnes
rate-
we don't rate.
Sorry, apologies.
At the window.
Apologies.
Man,
I can
we
rate
call,
what
maybe you call him JB or something.
No.
You don't call him.
I rate what Redacted
bad
said. I rate what
Yeah,
Redacted said in terms of you have to give Watford. I bust me the opener, bro. In fact, no, bust me here. No, it's cool. Little bust a little. We'll do the. No, it's cool. Do a little John here. No. But yeah, it was a really good performance. I
him
know
their dues, man.
we've been speaking.
Clean sheet as well.
Yeah, real talk. We've been
Yikes.
speaking, and there's a lot to take away from it. But 3-0, in terms of what it means to them, they're still going to win the league. But here was some sort of key landmarks they were coming in on. Invincible, obviously. If they had won, they would have managed to top City's formidable 18-game streak. They would have gone to 19.
Basically, if they won that.
But stay on 18, 50 games unbeaten, they won't be able to go to that now. And the other one, which was looking really good for them, 12-match away win streak, they won't be able to get to this season.
All I got to say
Still
is.
can probably get maximum points.
All I got to
but-
say is. Tough times never last.
Tough people last. Tough times never last.
I love this. I love it. Do you know what? I'm so happy, yeah, when you go back to what we've been talking about. What we've been talking about, how football is how the English game is losing its identity of
all it
how
took-
to play. You know what I mean?
all
There's
it
no
took-
lower teams. All it took
Grit
is
and grind.
real big dog
I like
Nigel
that.
Pearson.
Grit and grind. I like that.
Yeah,
Grit and grind. I like that.
yeah. Bring through fucking Nigel Pearson. Came through with that bread and butter, as you say, bread and butter football. Get Deeney to bully. Get Sarr in and around. I loved it.
Sarr was
Them
busy,
man
man of
was
the match.
scrambling all game.
winning runners
Easily.
and getting in their faces, and it's crazy because you look
What
at
did
the
Sarr get? 2 goals and an assist.
2 goals and assists. Troy Deeney
Should
got
have
goal and
had it.
assist.
Should have.
had it, but he's
Could have finished him at the end
squandered
there.
it, but I mean,
And take into account, this is Delafeu got injured. 20
thank
minutes
you,
in.
thank you.
Like,
Star
people
performer
aren't
this
taking into
season as
account.
well.
Early in the
Delafeu
game as well,
after
he
they
was
win.
busy. And then for
Active.
him to come off, I was like, yo, that's it. Game set. Liverpool about to sweep this. And boy, turn the
However,
heaters on.
Paraventure, it didn't work out like that. But let's
Talk about
break
the game.
down
The
the
game.
game. So, first thing I can kind of highlight is a lot of Liverpool fans will turn and say, "Oh, Lovren's rubbish and whatnot."
Hey,
But
hey, that's just
We're
what's
gonna
that?
discuss
That's the
this.
first game though.
We're gonna
He
discuss
started
that
in,
today.
but
and all of a sudden they lose.
But
Oh,
let's discuss the elephant in
just
the room.
acknowledge that.
Let's discuss the elephant in the room for me. How many centre backs do they have?
You got about
Gomez,
3-4.
Matty. They got 4, yeah.
So Lovren didn't have to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a trusted man.
Was it a tactical decision?
It was just the team he picked.
No, see,
It wasn't-
I didn't know that. I thought it was injuries, maybe.
No, it's
I
the
thought
team
Joe
he
Gomez
picked.
was injured.
Where's the rest of the Matip? What?
No, Matip's been out for.
Oh,
Matip's
Couldn't
been
do
away for a
anything
while.
else.
Oh, okay.
Lovren's been playing as well.
Tactical
Like
sense.
it's not like he's not.
For me,
remember the
I
first
think-
few
I
games he
think the
played
fact-
early in the season?
Yeah.
He's looking decent, but
But did
can't
you hear
pin down
after
a
the
loss.
game what Troy Deeney was saying?
Yeah,
And
but
Troy
we're gonna
Deeney
get
after
to
the
that
game
point.
said he come out and said he specifically targeted Lovren.
Yeah.
He said
Okay.
Van Dijk is too quick, too big,
Let's
too
break it
strong
down.
for me.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that.
All right,
So-
So
what-
he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and cross across the weak link. And he said, I don't even want to disrespect Lovren and say he's the weak link, but I pinned on him. And you saw the first
So
goal.
why? So why
course.
didn't? Why
Pinned
didn't?
him down for the throwing ball goal.
Wouldn't-
Wouldn't
Well,
as the captain,
what
as
you're
the
supposed to
leader,
do.
shouldn't you see that and say, look, I can see that he's trying to get on, saying I'm gonna take him today.
You're talking to
That's how you
Dejan
should do.
Lovren, who's the Croatia captain.
No,
who's
I don't care.
Who's
Don't
one of the
come with all
most
that
senior
now.
team players
Don't come
in that
with all
team.
that now.
You're
Van
going to treat
Dijk
him like
is
a
the
child
und-
now.
Van
me
Dijk
tell
is
you
the
You're going to treat him
undis-
like a child now.
He's the
Come on, man.
undisputed captain of
me-
Liverpool.
let me-
So you're saying it's Van Dijk's
Henderson
fault?
wasn't
Henderson-
playing. It was
Henderson
Van
wasn't
Dijk's
playing.
fault.
So
I'm
Van
gonna
Dijk-
get to that.
All I can
I'm
say-
gonna get to that.
All I can say is a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
get to that.
we've quickly gone from this is the greatest team, this and that, to people
They
saying,
still are.
no, hear what I'm saying. We've gone from
greatest
people
team.
saying
I'm
this,
gonna get to that as well. I'm gonna get to that. I've
people
got a lot to
saying
say
this,
today.
Okay.
and then suddenly I'm hearing, and again, when I say I'm hearing it might be pockets and whatnot, but this is stuff that's out there. You can go and Google and whatnot. Man looked at, I said, what is this shit? Going hearing people say stuff like, oh, Henderson and Trent are the pivotal parts of this team. If they're not performing, we're not performing.
See the
And
two
I'm like,
games he's
whoa,
missing?
Let's stop. I can hear that. 2 games he's missing.
This is
They've
probably
West Ham
given-
bully
this is
them.
probably given him.
Watford bully
This has
them.
probably made him
But-
more odds
all
on
I'm gonna
favourite.
say is,
Hendo crucial.
all I'm gonna say is, how has Henderson
Yeah.
become so crucial that when he's not there, they concede 3 goals?
It's not that. For me, it's not even.
What is it?
their
That he's the
poor.
one that bucks, or what's like?
100%. You need leadership in that.
But so what's Van Dijk doing then? Because Van Dijk's the leader. We see him and whatnot.
Hey,
I saw him shouting and
Van
pointing
Dijk weren't the only
yesterday.
poor performer.
I'm not
please.
saying. I'm saying in terms
Van
of the next
Dijk,
captain.
Trent, Salah,
Everyone was poor.
Mane.
Van Dijk
Name-
was the reason
name
for the
me
loss.
one player that was.
I'll get into it, but I'll let you finish.
Name me
it.
one player that kind of stood up and took accountability for in that game.
How do you mean accountability?
In terms for Liverpool, there was no ownership. The third goal when Van Dijk was running
They were
back,
all poor,
that
that's why.
summed up for me.
As
That
a
summed up.
team, they
No,
were
but that
poor,
summed
for
up.
me.
That was
That
the
summed
third goal.
I was just
That was
like-
the
Second, that summed up their
What, the
performance.
hit and hope through ball that.
No, but
Saga
it wasn't
onto?
hit and hope. Don't. Quit.
The one that Van Dijk
What, he just spun
the
and-
one that Van Dijk
That's
was
not hit and
conducting.
hope.
No,
They
but
did that all game.
Hey,
They did that
okay,
all
cool.
game.
That one.
If I spin in all
said-
game and I'm getting the ball, that's not hit and hope.
Hey, Troy Deeney didn't even know where he was looking when he hit.
Hey,
That ball. That's all I'm
listen.
saying.
We're definitely beating around the bush here.
I ain't
yeah.
even a Liverpool fan, but I'm just saying.
when you look at the first goal, that was the one that was from the throw-in, right? Van Dijk, was that the one that was from throw-in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Van Dijk absolutely sleeping for that goal. The throw-in goes, bounces from between, in front of Troy Deeney and Lovren, goes over his head. Van Dijk is the spare man. Van Dijk is sleeping. Let Sarr get to the ball 1st. All right, cool. So whoever it was it
Decore.
Decore, sorry. Decore gets onto the ball first. That's fair enough. That's still bad because he's sleeping.
Yeah.
You then, when he's about to cross, you put your legs out the way. You move out the way.
That was
open.
poor. Yeah,
That's
that was
Van
poor.
Dijk's fault right there. There's the other goal, the second goal.
Alisson
He's-
couldn't have done better though.
For
That's
what?
near post. That went right under him. If you
Root
saw
cause,
it.
root cause,
Alisson.
sir.
for
Root
the
cause.
first goal.
Root cause
cause.
what? Lovren missing, getting pinned down by Troy Deeney.
No, hold on.
I'm just saying
And
it's
then for
easy
the-
to pick on
for the-
VVD,
for the-
but
for
there's
the-
other factors.
For the second goal, right?
Yeah.
There it
Jockey
was.
the
It's all on the side, right?
Jockey the space.
No, exactly. It's all on the side.
space.
By the time the
I
ball's
think
coming
I've been
to
saying
him-
this for 1 year.
Yeah.
No one's listened.
Bro.
This guy, and it's not to his detriment. I get that's the way he plays. But in that moment, yeah, do you know how funny that clip is?
Bro,
A man
he's doing this,
wait, no,
he's doing
Cam,
this.
Cam, let's break it down,
Look
right?
at the gap between him and his other defenders.
No, but wait, hold, pause. He jockeyed the space here, and then the ball went in behind.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. Fam, and they're talking about they
come
talk
on.
about Van Dijk's amazing pace to get back. They talk about all this stuff. I didn't see none of that.
Troy
I did not
Deeney
see none
didn't
of
want none
that.
of
So
it.
2 goals were directly Van Dijk's fault. The third goal was Trent was the one that was involved in all that. This whole let's
Like
blame
a slipping, man.
yeah, exactly. This whole let's blame Lovren stuff to find a scapegoat. Please stop it. Go
No,
look
no,
at
no,
your
no,
go
no.
look at your
Lovren
big
was
dogs
a
of the
factor.
season.
That's what
Van
I said.
Dijk was the key reason why Liverpool lost that game, bro.
You think
All
so?
goals came. Well, it's just from the one with Trent came from Van Dijk. How can you be at fault for 2 goals and it's not your
the
fault for the loss?
forwards who've been firing all year, doing absolutely nothing that game. Getting
But you're
shut out by
directly-
what?
you're
getting
directly
shut
at
out by a
fault.
19th place team.
I hear that.
They're
but
absolved of the blame. It's
I hear
just
that, but you're
VVD,
directly
that's
when
it.
you're directly at fault for 2 goals. I'm sorry,
Come
mate.
on,
It's
I
your
wouldn't
fault.
even say directly.
He's directly
So
at
nothing
fault.
could have happened before for Troy Deeney to stop that through ball.
Which
Because you saw mate.
It was a
who
scrap-
is it?
it was scrappy
Will
at
Hughes
the
who just
corner.
backheeled it in like acres of space when he had like 3 men around him.
Oh,
Nothing
okay,
could have been done there.
but
But
now
everything
the-
gets blamed straight to VVD.
Now
I'm
there's
saying,
so many
let's look at
pieces
the-
as to
let's-
why a
let's look at
defender
the whole
could do
game.
better,
Come
right?
on.
But when it's other defenders, I don't. This whole VVD
They are
protection
guilty.
trade.
You know what it is? I
When
know
it's-
what it
wait,
is.
when
It's
it's-
because Maguire
wait,
gets
this is
attacked
co-
a lot. That's
When
what it
it's-
is.
when- have I mentioned Maguire once?
No,
Have
but I
mentioned
know where you're
Maguire
going with
once?
this. I know
Anyone-
where it's
have I
coming
mentioned
from.
Maguire today?
Go on,
Whenever
continue.
it's somebody else, there's all these reasons.
Who's
This
the
is guy's
who's the
fault.
somebody
if there's
else?
Not, if there's not a clean sheet,
Who's
it's
the
this
somebody
guy's fault.
else?
If it's not. Why is it when the things are going well, right? When
It's
Liverpool are
Maguire.
keeping all these clean sheets, it's only Van Dijk. When Van Dijk signed, it's only the Van Dijk
No.
because so now when it's
Just
a loss,
last week, weren't I saying Alisson?
stop, let me finish.
No, no,
let
no.
me finish.
It's
Let
not
me
saying-
finish.
It's not just you.
Okay, yeah.
Let me finish.
It's not
Now-
just you. I hear where you're coming from.
No,
You're
no,
fine.
go
Let
on,
me
go on,
finish,
let
let me
him,
finish.
When it gets to it, right? When it gets to it, why is it so Van Dijk's impact? Oh, it's Van Dijk, Van Dijk, Van Dijk. I don't hear about all the other defenders. It's Van
nothing.
Dijk, it's Van Dijk. Now, when it's going wrong, you're telling me, oh, what about Mane? What about Salah? What about when Ricochet? What about when Troy Deep? Nah, bro. If you're gonna say everything is Van Dijk, then he's gonna take the fault when he's directly.
I
at
haven't
fault for
said
2
everything's
goals as
Van
well.
Dijk, but
I'm
I
sorry.
definitely say he could have defended that first one better. But there
and the
was
second
other
one?
things that happened. The second one was just happened.
No.
It could have been stopped before that. The through ball
Bro,
slipping
I
behind.
wish
Let me
You're
tell
a
you.
centre back.
I
You
wish-
should know.
Bro,
Bro,
listen,
I
let me
wish
tell
you
you.
know,
I wish
bro.
Toby
Let me
of
tell you.
Vertonghen done that.
Let me
You
tell you.
I would
that
have been killing him.
Let me tell you.
granddads retired.
This is,
Listen,
and this is where
VVD's got stopped.
But this is where I want to chime in terms of, for me, it was clear Nigel Pearson knew what to do.
Whether it was 101.
Whether it was Lovren or not, you could see, like I said, we said that he missed a chance. But even if without that chance, if you look at the way they were playing, it was, listen, we know these guys, if we get 1 goal, they're going to try and chase the game. We just need to get in and behind.
Yeah.
Capu, who's 1-2, pop through, SARS in 1-on-1. Just get between the centre-backs, get between the space of the full-backs, and we're good. Like, so no matter what happens at the back, Pearson planned this like this, and I can't take that away from him. What I would chime in and add is, what I find really interesting is we've been saying for the whole year, Liverpool clutch, Liverpool not performing well, Liverpool not performing well. This is what happens. Like, being clutch is all right, but at the end of the day, if you're not performing well, do you get where I'm coming from? Being clutch is good, but if you're not performing well, you're going to get caught slipping. And that 3-0 slapping is immense.
I'll be real with you. Go
Can I
on.
ask a question? Why does no one ever mention the midfield that creates no goals, doesn't score goals? Like, in these tight games, everyone else's midfielders got expectations to score goals or create. When Trent is having a poor game, Robertson's having a poor game, why does no one in that midfield create any chances to score?
This is what happens when your team is so over reliant on a certain thing.
Systems.
Bro, I don't want to keep going back to what we used to say, right? But this is why we keep saying these players are system players. I'm sorry, when the system's not working, Trent and Robbo, sorry, you lot have been pinned in today. It's not happening. Ginny, Hendo, Fabinho, Keita.
Hendo wasn't playing.
But I'm just saying, someone do something, please.
Drag his name.
No, but on the real, someone do something, please, because I'm confused. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think we've always said that though. That Liverpool midfield, there's gonna come a time when their lack of creativity, their lack of goals, it will be tested. Now is the time for me. I think what is it now? Back-to-back losses.
No. Oh yeah,
because Atletico as well, and now that they've got the second leg of that to come, so boy, we'll see how they wake up. But
when you look at Liverpool now, it's not an issue, but Klopp would have been. Again, they've been clutch, but Klopp would have been looking at this
Here's
stuff
the thing,
and
though.
saying that, you know what, the performance is not great. They need to get to a situation now where it's like, you know, we need to perform now. You've got a massive game against Atletico at home,
they can
albeit-
now.
one of the
Now
players
they
though
can
who
do
always
the
gets
winner.
shouted about is that people are always like, oh, he should be starting more games. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Did he play?
He played yesterday.
He had a bad
was
game.
shocking.
He had a
And
bad
even
game.
in the
No,
game
I'll be
before
like,
that,
to be honest, he's the only one out of that midfield that
and-
offers something.
now he'll get protected.
No,
He was
I'm
poor in
talking
that
about
game.
if you're
But
looking,
everyone
yeah,
was
he was,
poor.
but I'm talking
Everyone
about
was
if
poor.
you're talking about like who in that midfield actually sometimes provides.
He's the one that shows the
something.
glimpses.
I think
Only Ox.
if you want to talk
I don't
numbers,
know.
I think Henderson's got better numbers than
Yeah,
Is it?
Like it's
Henderson's
Lucas, I mean,
probably
Dini's
got
got a bit of goals. Ox has got a bit of goals.
I know Ox has his
No,
injury.
but-
Ox scored
Boy.
amazing goals. That's
Yeah,
the thing,
with-
which makes you think, you know what, he's got stock. But
Yeah.
for me,
No,
that
do you know what it is?
midfield.
I think that backs up our point before in terms of if you look at that midfield when it's sticky, Ox can get you a goal from outside the box. He can have a moment of brilliance. Do you get what I'm coming from?
I'm not
Pacific
saying that
3
he's a
months.
top
No,
player.
but
no.
I hear what
again,
you're saying.
compared to the rest, like Ronaldo, like can do it occasionally. Henderson's very
I
functional.
mean, Wijnaldum's not got an
Wijnaldum,
assist in 2 years.
I'll be real with you, yeah. Wijnaldum needs to step up
He had
more,
0 assists
'Cause-
last season, 0 assists this season.
Because the same way when he plays for Holland, all of a sudden he turns into
Drip-
this
drippy,
creative
drippy.
goal scoring, and I love to see it. Don't get me wrong, but let's see some of that for Liverpool because he's capable of it, and he's
John Obi
popped
Mikel
up
with
at
waves.
He did it
times
at
with
Newcastle,
important goals as well, and even at Newcastle he's popped up. With
My
But
thing
again, I
is,
think
my
that's
thing is,
the
I'm
system. When you're told to be an engine room,
yeah.
This is-
He might be under too much instruction right now.
it's a question of is that midfield being allowed that creativity?
Yeah.
Another
I
thing
could-
as well.
well-
Is Klopp telling them, I don't want you drifting forward and doing
if we're
third man runs
saying-
in the
if we're
box.
saying play
I
like
want
a
you just
system-
on the edge sweeping just in case of the counter.
Because
Could that
you
be a
also
thing?
your
have to
fullbacks
think them
are
fullbacks
gone,
are
so you
up.
need to
You
protect them.
got
So we
100%,
know that's
yeah.
what they're
So
doing.
then
But at the end
could
of the
that
day,
be-
every system has its limitations. Guardiola's systems will have their limitations. Any
So now
manager that
it's-
plays the system, Conte when he plays his
So
five at
Klopp
the
now
back.
needs to find another wrinkle within this.
What?
He needs to- he-
Maybe Coutinho come back.
I've been saying that. I've been saying I
come
don't know
back.
why.
Wait, hold
Coutinho
on. Where's
is-
that Japanese done?
Takashi? Yeah, he came on yesterday. He came on
Minamino?
yesterday, did nothing. Yeah.
Takashi.
Grown man.
Why'd you say that?
Ain't that
No, he said his
Minamino?
actual first name.
Oh,
Well, you thought I was doing some race thing. I'm clued up, you know.
Takeshi's Castle. I'm talking about Takeshi's Castle.
Wait,
Hey,
what?
listen.
What's the
Nah,
one?
nah,
Give me this.
No, when you go
Too
back,
much of that.
No. One thing that I'm happy about, yeah, and I don't care what nobody says to me, right, is that this Liverpool loss, for me, has eliminated them from all this greatest that discussion. For me, do you know what? I'm going to tell you why, yeah? Let me tell you why. So, everything Liverpool are doing now, we have seen before. I'm sorry, before it wasn't. We hadn't seen it before.
So like City,
we hadn't seen what they're doing.
Yeah.
City, they've done 18 in a row. Liverpool, you have as well. We've seen that
Fair.
before. Sorry.
Undefeated.
Arsenal, invincible. You guys haven't done it. Man United's teams, you didn't win no treble. You ain't done no back-to-backs. You ain't done no 3 in a row.
They might
Chelsea-
win the treble, though.
I was
Chelsea-
just about to say
could
the
potentially
treble
win the
one.
treble.
You might have just jinxed it.
They ain't done treble.
FA Cup.
But alright, but okay, but
Yeah.
they ain't done no back-to-backs. They ain't done no 3-peats. Chelsea, they ain't done no 15 conceded goal. Everything.
Am I right in saying that they
everything-
could still get the record points?
Yeah, record
Yeah.
points. But let me tell you about record points. Yeah, that's something that can get broken. Easy. That gets done. That gets done. Jose's got
100
record points.
plus.
Conte got 93 points. Then and a win streak. And then Pep broke the win streak the next
you-
season.
Devil's
And then Klopp
advocate.
breaks it. Bro, that's not
Dev-
that.
thing is,
it's
Devil's
good.
advocate.
For me, no, but for me now, what happens is we can now
But
start
you set
looking
the
at
bar.
it.
That's what I'm saying.
Before, if Liverpool had carried this win, won every game,
Yeah.
and only drew one, then you could be like, their accolades are just too much. But now I can now finally look at it and be like, judge it by this person's better than this person. No, this person. I preferred watching this style of football. That's how I see it. And for me, Liverpool don't.
I
match
hear
up
you,
with the
but
rest.
for me that's semantics.
Before
It's a
it
bit
would have just been
semantics.
like,
But this is
oh,
the thing.
Liverpool won 30-something games and
I
drew
hear
one.
that.
They're the
Sorry,
best.
let me
I hear that.
Now
No,
you
no.
can
Go
actually
on.
critique it.
Even if they
without-
won the rest of the games, that's 1 loss, 1 draw. That's a crazy point
Bro,
stand. And like,
like-
don't get me wrong.
It
In
don't
terms
take
of
nothing
in
from
terms
it.
of
For
the
me, it's just
longevity of this
unbeaten.
team, it's unbeaten. But in terms of longevity, like this, could
I've
still
seen this
test.
before, bro. I ain't as
I
impressed.
hear
It
you,
don't make it
but
any
I-
less special.
it
I ain't as
doesn't.
impressed.
It
as
does
you
not
guys.
make
you
it
can't-
any
you
less
can't
special.
take
In
away
the
from
worst
can't
era
take
for
away
me,
from it.
I ain't as impressed.
For
as
me, you
guys.
can't take away from
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
If you're talking
The
about
worst era.
if you told me seasons, as in for the actual season, like everything involved, then I can say, you know what? Because I think I was looking at something. The United team that won the treble hadn't lost as many games as Liverpool have at this point in the season. I can start looking to all of
United
that, but I
team
think
that
it's
won the treble
semantics.
only lost 4 games.
Yeah,
the
but
whole
that's
season.
exactly. But if you compare it like that, it's different. But if you're talking Premier League season, I don't think you can take it away from them, man. They've
Definitely
been.
can't take it
Don't
away
get me
from
wrong.
them.
That 3
If we're
0
gonna do-
3
Hey,
0
if
is a
we're
slapping.
if we're
Alright,
saying
okay,
they,
cool.
they
3-0
get
is
all the
slapping.
record
Okay,
points,
so-
record goals, and all
Yeah,
that, they've
it's
literally
difficult.
set the bar.
But they're not gonna
now
get-
it's something, and to say that that's just going to be beaten.
Alright,
like,
so,
no
okay,
way
look.
to beat that again. You've
That's
basically got to
crazy,
be
man.
unbeaten
No, because what you man are
and
saying
the
now.
whole season and win everything.
It's hypothetical, of course.
No, but what
that's
you man
they're
are
looking
saying
at.
now is okay, cool. But by the way you lot are judging it, because you guys are trying to judge it by like, okay, this is the fact that they're
No,
gonna
I'm
get
saying- you're
most
saying
points, right?
that
Alright,
excluded
let's
them out of the best team
let's
debate.
Let's say they got 106 points. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, amazing. Yeah. You guys are saying, okay, that means that they're the best team or whatever.
I didn't
No,
say they're the
I'm
best
saying
team.
they're in the debate.
I'm saying you can't
Alright,
take
but
can't
so right
say-
now,
I've
who's the
seen
best
that
team? Are you
before.
guys gonna say City are the best team because City got record
No,
points?
City
but
are one of the
Cam,
best
Record-
teams. When
But
you
they're not
talk
the best.
about
They're
one of
not
the best teams in
They're
Prem,
not the best though.
Cam.
what are you talking
Not
about?
for
When you
me.
talk about
Cam.
for you personally, yeah, but when you have the debate and you say
You
who
throw
are the
them
4
out.
best teams or whatever,
They're out of it for me.
this Liverpool team will come up
We've
if
They're
they
out of it.
if they
We've done
if they
this
put up
bit.
the 4.
We've done this bit already.
They're out of it.
We've
I'd
done
say
this bit
what the
already.
Invincibles, City's, and then the United, I would say,
And
treble.
Chelsea.
And Chelsea.
And Chelsea right now.
Chelsea are in
Like
that top
right now,
4.
those are the 4. If Liverpool this season carry on doing what they're doing, the Chelsea one gets stumped out. I'm sorry.
No, not for me.
For me,
That's
personally,
blasphemous.
no, listen.
I'm sorry,
blasphemous
what?
for me.
Because you lot were defensively solid.
No.
For me,
Listen, we've
That's
seen
blasphemous.
that before.
let me tell you what I think.
No, that's blasphemous because you lot are Chelsea fans.
No,
15 goals
but
conceded.
15 goals conceded.
That's
It's crazy.
fine. Oh,
In
well,
how many
defensively.
games?
Oh,
No.
that's nice.
Come on, 15.
All right, cool.
conceding
That's
15
the
goals.
least impressive. One is Invincibles. One set the standard. United won the treble, and you think you're somehow gonna?
I think 08 United.
Guy.
Wait, for me,
Of course,
conceding
I agree,
15
'cause they
goals.
did the
Conceding
trebles.
15 goals in any league for a whole season is
Respectable. You were
unprecedented in
defensively
any
solid,
era.
but you
That's
ain't-
unprecedented.
But you ain't gonna
You see
do
what
what
you're talking- if
Liverpool's
we're
doing
going
now.
about
Especially
talking
if
about
we're
the
saying
points, you can
Liverpool's
top
gonna
points.
beat City's points record.
So do you think being defensive is easy?
No, it's not easy. I'm saying that's why they're in the conversation now. But if Liverpool go on to beat all these records and still get,
They got no more records.
what do you mean? No. If they points record, they can still get it.
Yeah, they can get the point.
So if they get the points record for me, of course they take that spot because they're way better than you.
Nah,
They
for
set the
me-
bar higher.
for
They
me-
set the bar, bro.
This
Yeah,
is
but then
cut.
you
Now
can say that.
every team
This
is
is cut.
aiming for that.
No, but then-
whenever you
This
look
is
at
cut.
record books, you're gonna see Liverpool 106 points.
Yeah,
that's
but-
why.
but
But your
that's the
team, what are you
thing.
gonna say? You're gonna look at the record books and say, "You see the 15."
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm
one
trying to.
cares about that.
Alright, no, wait. This is why I'm trying to argue that point. I don't
Yeah.
want to spend too long. We've got lots of
got
stuff to go
stuff,
about.
yeah.
But this is what I'm trying to argue. Look, Conte's team got 93 points. Are you telling me that that's more points than any Fergie team ever?
Yeah.
Telling me they're better.
Bro,
They're not better.
the team you're talking
I can't
about that
judge
was
it by just
defensive got
points.
95 points.
The points, like
95
records,
points.
the points record gets broken. Like Pep done it. Conte had the consecutive win streak. Klopp
Pep
got
done-
Conte.
yeah.
Like, bro,
Conte
man.
had the most wins.
I think.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what I'm
Pep
saying.
did it.
Now,
Mo-
I
he
think
had
one
most
defeat
wins,
now,
then
and
Pep,
we're trying
then
to
this.
rub everything Liverpool's done.
For me,
For me, I'm not
what
trying to
I'm
rub it.
saying
I can't have
is, it brings
Everton.
them
I can't
back
have
down to reality. They can go and win the
Listen.
league. I've seen my team
Let's
win
know.
it
As a
about
United
9
fan,
times.
of course
I
you'll
don't
say
mind.
that.
I've seen
But
my
I
Let us
team
know.
win 9
think
times.
to rub
Let
them
us
off
know.
after one defeat, no.
I'm not rubbing them off, but I just think that.
But
in
to be
terms
fair,
of-
you're saying rubbing them off after one defeat, but you do know Chelsea are 4-5 only lost one game.
Of course. So you'd be level.
Nah,
Except they've
whatever,
got more
let's
points
move,
than you
man.
now.
That's cut.
We
Except-
move.
That's that. I won't lie. I can't talk to a Spurs fan about titles, man. I can't talk to a Spurs fan about
Oh,
records. I can't. You can't appreciate it.
I can't.
Exactly. So the closest trophy we've won is the
Let me
NBA
try-
title. like-
I'm the outsider's
Yeah,
point of view.
you can't
I'm the
appreciate this
outsider's
stuff,
point
man.
of view.
No, listen, you can't get in this club, man. In other talking points, midweek was interesting with Auba. Went from hero to
Oh, well, I thought you was going to say
Unfortunate.
Chelsea buying, but okay.
Hero to
yeah.
zero.
No, that was a slap
We'll
as well,
ignore that
but we
one.
called it. Well, actually, we're not.
What's going on?
The shout,
The 3-0 buying.
a shout.
Come on, bro.
Oh,
Mystic
Look in
Meg,
your crystal ball.
Mystic
listen,
Meg.
I'll be back next round. And I'll be back next round.
Is Aubameyang too big for Arsenal?
Too big for Arsenal? No. Me personally, no. I think Aubameyang is the level he should be at. And especially when, like, what we saying this off the back of the fact that they've been dumped at the Europa League. And
I
now
was
they're
going to say,
mid-table.
so for me, the
No.
way I look at it is, this is a striker where people talk about him amongst the best in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say? They're discussing him amongst the best in the
More
world.
recently, yeah.
He's been a diligent performer for them. However, in terms of what he came there for, he's not been able to do that.
Champions League football.
Exactly. So
You
is
should
he
have known that, though.
is he
Like,
too big? Is he too big for that club?
For me, no. Like, he is where he should be at. And the thing is, I think Arsenal now need to actually break their bank or whatever to try and keep a hold of him, because to a certain extent he should be playing for a club bigger, but he's 31. Who's really going to take him on at this stage? Like, where he's going to get a similar role and be held at a similar place, unless he's going to take a little bit more of a back seat. Boy, that Champions League football, I'm not sure it'll be worth it. Right now, Arsenal have a number 14 that they actually like. Someone who's scoring for them regularly. They need to give him whatever contract they need to do to try and keep him. And if I was him, I would stay.
So-
I don't think there's anything better
So
for
you're
him
saying
out
that
there.
Arsenal's not his level, but that's the best situation for him.
That's the best situation for him.
I
100%.
could. For me, I think when you look at Auba's career, right, he was at Dortmund. They didn't really do that much in the Champions
had the
League
Champions
as well.
League.
They didn't. I mean, they didn't really do much. Like, he didn't get
He got to
many
a s-
games
what
in
did he
the
get to, a
Champions
semi?
League.
That was it?
Yeah, like, I don't even know how involved he was in their Champions League runs and
Yeah.
stuff. But he hasn't really had a Champions League career. It reminds me a little bit of when Falcao was like killing it back in the day, and he didn't have
Just
any
bare Europa League.
Yeah. So then
And he didn't get
the
with
way I
Martinez
see it,
as well.
right, him as a profile, he's not too big for Arsenal. Do not get excited.
Facts, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Himself, he's not Zlatan. He's not these guys. Auba himself isn't bigger than Arsenal, but what he is doing,
Is
you can probably say listen, then like this is ridiculous numbers. You're not,
Yeah, I mean,
Arsenal are not
I
going to
think
give him any chance of trophies. And when you
since-
look that he's scoring more goals than Suarez, this, it's kind of like, yo, imagine what he could be in them teams. You know what I mean? But him as a profile player, it doesn't look like, he doesn't look bigger than the club to me. But he is doing.
For me,
a
I
mad
think,
thing.
for me personally anyway, I think the situation he's in is he should have never joined Arsenal, if you get where I'm coming from. At that point, when he was saying that, coming off beating Lewandowski for top goal scorer and whatnot, saying you want Champions League
football. You
Nah,
had.
you had- I
he
think-
should have joined Arsenal. He should
No.
have joined.
No, I
So
get
I
it.
think-
He wanted the Premier League move or whatever.
Yeah.
but he could have waited
But
for
I'm-
me.
I
Look
think
how
'cause
long is
Look
Chelsea-
how desperate Chelsea were for a
Chelsea was
striker
desperate
around
for a
them
striker,
times,
I
bro.
believe.
Yeah,
That
but I
he
mean,
could have.
you got-
For
Come
me,
on,
6
come on.
months.
okay,
A
you know,
year he
maybe
could have waited.
Maybe that's harsh, but I think
Dortmund wanted him out, by the way. They were-
No.
No.
Dortment wanted to keep him. He wanted to
Wanted out.
leave. He was the
He
one
had
that
the fallout.
decided not to turn
He
up
was
to
falling out
training.
with the directors,
for-
isn't
he
yeah.
had the fallout.
No, but look, what you lot are saying is that he shouldn't have went to Arsenal. But for me,
No.
I think he should have went to Arsenal because the reason why I say that is because look how long it's taken for people to even now say, hold on, he's actually kind of a good player. It would have been even longer at Dortmund. He wanted to go Real Madrid and stuff. They were not interested.
Yeah.
These teams, if he was doing what he's doing in Dortmund,
it's
in
facts.
Germany, people would literally just be like, nah, because Auba's not that great on the eye. Do you know
Do you
what I
know-
mean? He
do you-
can go
yeah.
ghost, he'll get his goal. If he's doing that in Germany, they'll just think,
Okay.
get as
we'll
much
pass
clout
up
for
on
it,
him.
basically.
I think Arsenal was a good move for
Do you
him.
know
I
what-
can't
do
lie.
you know
I
the
think,
issue
yeah,
for him
world
was-
status-wise, yeah, I
Because
can hear
Wenger
it.
got him and
But I think-
Lacazette in the same season, right? At the time, I know we've got our reservation about Lacazette's now,
Yeah.
but at the time,
It was never a
Lacazette.
good signing.
No,
That's
but
the one they
I'm
need to
saying-
cash in on.
I'm saying Lacazette at the time, there were a few clubs that saying, you know what, he's got a decent goal return. That was what the talk was. That's fair to say. So you signed two
He had
strikers,
a
right?
good goal return.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Leon,
So-
he was
and that's
doing.
fair for
I
you to
can't
say, right?
lie.
He was doing numbers.
He was killing
So
that
for
Leon.
me,
That was
right,
a
What,
I
you
still-
man, going to forget that he scored 16 penalties in a season?
Hey,
No, but-
you got to put them
Hear
away.
what I'm saying.
You love it when Rashi
Goal-
does it.
goal return.
16?
So this is my thing.
That is
You
a
got
lot.
two strikers.
That's some
It's
Andy
like-
Johnson numbers, bro.
16?
Don't
Yeah,
don't
mate,
put
it's
Ronaldo
16.
and Lacazette
That
in the
is a
same
lot.
team.
If you
but
put,
you
bro,
got two goal strikers.
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger's Manchester signed two goal strikers in one season, right? He's left the club and whatnot. Called up. He's given them sort of foundation, right? And how many times have we seen that kind of partnership? Like,
Never.
as a two
I think
work
that's-
and whatnot.
that's
I think
probably-
that was a big foresight issue that Arsenal had. I think
think-
if they tried that a bit more, maybe we could have seen a bit more.
That's
We could have
probably
seen
one of the most
something.
frustrating things, I think.
For the
the
Arsenal
fact that
fans as well.
Arsenal fans, I think they've had two quality strikers, if you want to say, that have never played as a front
Yeah.
two.
I
It's
think
always
it's
just been
criminal.
one or the other. And for me, Lacazette is the one they should be trying to move in and cash in on. And they should be trying to give everything to Aubameyang to secure him. He's a fucking captain, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like,
They could not. I mean, last season.
his contract runs out, what, next year now?
Keep it. Last season, Europa League final.
Don't
Chelsea
wait
had
around.
already qualified,
Yeah.
knocked out. Europa League this year. This year, Europa League, whatnot. And for him
It
as
might
well.
be a blessing in
people-
disguise not qualifying for Europa this year. That's all I'm saying, boy.
No, but listen, at the end
Listen,
of the day,
it might be a blessing in
at
disguise.
that
People
age-
think,
at
oh,
that
now
age,
they're
if you're
9th,
31,
10th.
Don't get me wrong.
Boy.
Let's go through what
They
accolades
play
has
one
he
game
won?
a season,
What accolades
one
has-
game a
has
week next
Auba
season.
won?
Yeah, okay, but where do you think he can go?
At 31, where can you go?
Barca,
Don't get me wrong,
Barca is
like
not-
you said,
like he's
at
saying he wants
Ibra,
Champions League football.
when
You've played
Ibrahimovic-
it, but are you going to win it?
Of course, but when Ibrahimovic
You wanna
got
go
his
to a
move,
team that's gonna win
he
it.
was like iconic level, so you can get a move like that. I don't think Auba might be able to maneuver that. And at the end of the day, you don't want to go to one of these lesser clubs.
I'd
that are gonna
take him.
qualify.
Do you not think he's good enough? For
I'd take him.
Barcelona's or the-
His numbers
I'd
would
take
suggest that. I think with Barcelona, the way you look at it is
Doesn't
is Suarez on his way up?
Yeah, he's out
Can
for
they
the
sign
season
another
this year
striker,
anyway.
or
Yeah.
would they even look at Auba? Would they try to
Auba
put
couldn't
a
play.
young striker?
The reason why Auba couldn't play for
Could he play for
Barcelona,
Chelsea?
he couldn't play for
It would-
Barcelona.
Could he play for
Yeah.
Chelsea?
He could play for Chelsea.
Could he play for United?
Play for another
Yeah.
Premier League team. Would he go there? That's the question.
That's the question.
If we try to pull off a Van Persie move, wait, Auba, I know you see 360 in that, fam. If you want, listen, we're ready for you,
what?
fam. We're ready.
August
After all that slander,
We're ready for
don't
you.
do it, Auba.
We'll work on your big game record. We'll work on your big goals, but
Since
you know what I mean. You can't.
August
It was kind of his fault the other day, but
90
Big
games.
chance at the end.
start
Boy,
crying on the
90
That's what I'm
games.
saying. Like people are saying he deserves a
62
bigger move, but he could have helped them qualify.
Yeah, of course. 62 goals, 13 assists.
His numbers don't
in
lie,
terms
innit?
of the other strikers as well, in that kind of period, like he's got more goals than Benzema, Lukaku, Griezmann, Kane, Icardi, Cavani. Like he gets the numbers. It's just one of those things where it's almost like you've signed like this kind of like mad contract now, and where you're tied in. Like who's going to take a gamble at Auba and give him the money he wants and Champions League football at that age?
No, but when I was speaking to,
What contract do you have to give him though?
Nah, so if you look at it though, like if you look at actually the actual top teams in the world at the moment, yeah, apart from like Lewin, like I don't even want to say anything because you
Lewandowski,
like to con
Lewin,
it's from Lewin, yeah, my guy Lewin. It's from Lewin, yeah. How many teams like actually like function around their number 9 and he actually and they're actually top team, and they're actually the top scorer of their team. When you look at like Barcelona, it's Messi. When you look at Juventus. Okay, I guess you can say Ronaldo, but Ronaldo,
wide, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like the strikers have to be able to like link up and all of that type of. Yeah,
but Auba can play out wide.
Spurs came, but at the moment,
Auba can play wide though.
We say
he plays.
Yeah, but are you gonna sign him to put him out wide?
This is
Do you not think at Barcelona he's better on the left than Griezmann?
Do you?
The thing is, the way I see it with Barcelona, you've got to be.
Are we trying to copy
you've got to be a very
Henry's career here or something? Like
with Barcelona, you got to be. For me, you got to be a very good footballer. Like when Messi gives it to you, you need to be able to give it back.
Yeah.
So how many cutback
DNA has
goals does Suarez give him? I haven't seen that side of Auba, so I don't know.
And typically as well, Barcelona won't make that sort of signing
team.
like a 31-year-old. Do you get what I'm coming from?
If you went somewhere like Juve or an Inter,
I
think somewhere like that, maybe I can see it. But then he would have to make that move this summer. If I was Arsenal, before it gets to this summer,
you're putting something down in it.
250, 300k, whatever it is, give it to him because what he's done, and then obviously you don't want to lose him on a free or whatever. But
he's too important to them. You take him out the team.
He's way too important to them. And
in fact, let's look at logically. If you take him out the team,
get Tommy Lamar or something.
If you ship him out the team,
he's struggling.
Essentially, Lacazette's not really there. So you've got Martinelli, and Nketiah. You have to sign as forward.
Facts. You got them like.
But listen, that's that. Someone else I want to discuss. Your guy, your arch nemesis. It was time for him to rise at the Bernabeu at Santiago, and he did it.
Who? Oh,
KDB.
KDB.
Champions League moment.
Playing number 9 midweek. I was playing up front.
Champions League performance.
And Jesus doing the tracking back. He said, "Hey, young buck, run them yards for me."
I mean, good performance.
Good game.
Captain's performance as well. There was a lot of comments that came out after that game saying that, you know what, he's comfortably the best player in the Premier League. He's one of the best in the world. The question I have is,
third best in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to. Is he the best player in the Premier League, first and foremost?
No.
Correct. Yes. Right now?
Maybe not. I don't think. I think Van Dijk's the best player in the league.
After slating him this morning.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
I just shit on Van Dijk for half an hour. And then they're like, best player in the league.
I speak the truth. I speak the truth.
Is he the third best player in the world?
You speak agenda.
He's absolutely not the third best player in the world. They need to just hold their horses, mate.
I think third, there's a debate to be had.
Who's
third best player in the world? Best player in the Prem, definitely. If we're talking third best player in the world, I think you've got to consider Neymar.
I
think you've...
Neymar's
a year ago, I would have said Hazard, but since
Hazard's
Madrid,
been injured, but how soon they forget.
He's been overweight.
Don't forget whose league it was when he was here, please. Huh? Don't forget whose team it is when they played together. Don't forget whose league it was when Hazard was here.
What's he done this year?
They're so excited, man.
He
got injured. He's been injured.
So you're saying...
I'm not saying Hazard's there.
Hazard goes above KDB.
He's injured. He's injured. So what? When you're injured, you decline?
I think Mbappe may be in the conversation. I think right now we could... in the conversation, I said.
For me, Neymar, I think Mbappe, people are quick to forget Neymar because of the injuries and whatnot.
Listen, don't underestimate Mbappe.
I tweeted something earlier. I said, what's it called? There's a difference between a footballer and a footballer, if you get where I'm coming from. Neymar is a footballer. Like, proper. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He's been injuries, had this and that. But his level, I'm sorry,
Lewandowski,
amongst the other two, he's there. Like, we can't debate. Lewandowski, in terms of his form and whatnot, is formidable. Yeah. It is absolutely formidable.
Right now, he's up there.
It's formidable. But if you're talking about that, if you ask me who's the third best footballer in the world, it's Neymar.
I believe so as well. I think it's Neymar. I mean, how is KDB way better than Thiago like that? Yeah.
Yeah. For me, yeah. I think Thiago's one of my favourite players, though, man. I don't know.
Boy, listen, everything in the Prem is the best, innit? That's all I got to say.
Hey, I love
KDB goes away to the Bernabeu. He goes away to the Bernabeu. The fight has a good little performance, and all of a sudden
has a good little performance.
Now we have to say he's the bro, I've seen Modric put these performances down 10 years in a row. I've seen Cruz do these type of things.
The same Modric you see KDB on and saying it wasn't worthy of the Ballon d'Or.
He shouldn't have won Ballon d'Or.
put in amazing performances.
Bro, I see all of this. I see all of this. As soon as this English,
But just because you've
English
seen
league,
something before,
KDB,
don't make it less special.
The best.
He keeps saying
Guys,
yesterday.
chill,
But-
please.
So,
Chill.
let's
Respect
forget.
KDB.
the
Let's
whole
forget.
Champions League
Like,
campaign to be
technically,
Let's
done.
one of the
forget.
most
Let's forget
complete
about
players.
That's what I want to go to.
When
Forget about
City
the
bounce
performance.
out the Champions
complete.
League, I don't want to hear no excuses then.
No,
I don't want
that's
to hear
fine.
no excuses because
But in terms of the talent,
So
level,
what? Then it will be all
where does-
KDB's fault.
Where does KDB rank and roll in
This
terms of
guy.
talent
it,
level?
it seems to be
if
all
City
KDB.
go out-
It seems to be all KDB's read.
No, it's not.
all
I'm just saying, give
now.
KDB his flowers.
Yeah,
Because what
okay.
you do
And
is
when he crashes, I'll give him his what? What can I say?
What?
his
Because
coffin.
Yeah. His gravestone.
Bro. No way. For me, he's just one of the most complete midfielders. I think both-footed, can play anywhere across midfield.
He's a top footballer.
You can't deny.
Have I once
what
said he's
he
not a
brings
top
to the
player?
table.
He's
But
a
you
top
try
player.
and
There's a lot
dismiss
of-
him.
I do not. I just
And
I
even
don't
with
like the way he
Neymar,
plays.
Neymar,
That's
like
it.
you say, he's great, but the injury record, the fact that he's playing in the French league, Champions League, he always seems to, around his sister's wedding, seems to get an injury and
Sister's
doesn't turn up in the
birthday.
knockout stages.
Birthday.
Whatever it is.
Last I remember
that-
that
so-
he's a Champions League winner, and he was the top scorer of that tournament.
No,
as
no,
well.
fantastic. He did well that
KDB?
year, but since then, what?
What's KDB
What
done
was he
since then?
signed to PSG for?
What's KDB
What did
done
he
since
break the
then?
world record
What has
transfer
KDB
for?
done since
like,
then?
you got to remember this man's worth 230 mil.
I've seen some
And
what
we're saying
KDB's
third
done
best.
since then.
I ain't seen the third best player since he's moved to PSG. That's all I'm saying. I think right now, especially the form he's in KDB, after what he did to Madrid, he went to the Bernabeu and said, "Let me take the number 9."
Let me tell you why this media
Cool.
is so tapped.
That's why he's
Let
the
me
third
tell you why
best
the
for me.
media is so
Definitely.
tapped because they're saying that at the moment, right now, he's the third best player in the world, right? Because of what he's done.
But
this
you just
season.
said that you don't know if he's better
bro.
than Thiago.
No, he's better than Thiago. I said.
Okay, calm.
I said I just like Thiago. Don't
So
get
for what
twisted.
he's done this season, they're saying that he's the third best player in the world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's where he is right now. He's the third
The
best.
level.
Whatever, all of this. So then tell me why this same media are telling me Henderson's player of the year. No, bro, I need answers, please. So now we've got a player that's playing. We got a player that's playing.
How are we dragging Henderson
We got.
into this
Hold
debate?
on. We got a player that's playing to the best player in the world standard in the Premier League. He's the best in the Premier League, but Hendo should
You
be
know
winning
what?
the
Give me the
Ballon
open-
d'Or.
give me the
I
open-
mean,
give me the
Hendo,
open.
so Hendo should be winning the thing.
Send me the
No,
open
he
up.
shouldn't. Listen,
Give it
of
open up.
I
course.
just need to know why
That's-
they're so inconsistent.
Hey, that's media agenda
I
as
just
well.
need to know.
That's
Yeah.
media agenda.
I just
Of course.
need to know.
When
Pass-
Liverpool go on a
pass your
nice
cup.
little run, what do? They hype up Mane.
From the bottle, man.
They hype up Hendo.
Cheers.
Pour me, pour me some
Cheers.
of this.
Cheers.
You man
Wait,
are
wait,
tapped.
wait.
Do you know if Lewandowski was in the Premier League, do you think that they'll be saying he's the third best player in the world?
If
Because his
Lewandowski-
numbers are incredible.
If Lewandowski was in
And
the
he was
Premier
putting up
League,
the same
they will
numbers?
say, they will say that Lewandowski was the best striker ever if he was in the Premier League.
My bro.
They will. They will.
Listen,
'Cause
let me
in
tell
terms
you.
of, it's not just the goal
can
tally,
hear it.
it's the way he performs.
I can
Like,
hear it.
The media machine behind it will be like, this is the best striker ever.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
tell you
it
what
will
the
be.
Premier League has.
That's what it'll be.
This is what the Premier League has, because this is all we know. Only English football is all we know. Alisson's the best keeper in the world. Trent's the best right back in the world. Van Dijk's the best centre back in the world. Robertson's the best left back in the world. Fabinho's the best defensive midfielder in the world. KDB's the best centre midfielder in the world. Aguero's the best striker in the world. Mane's the best left winger in the world. Oh, everyone plays in the Premier League, innit? There's no other leagues in the world. Everything in this country is the best in the world, best in the world, best in the world. Chill. Just chill. Watch other leagues.
That's where you
please.
get dumped out.
Watch other things. Everything in this country has to be the best, the best, the best. It's not the best.
It's not that.
It's not.
It's KDB's playing at a level that is exceptional.
Okay,
right
but
now.
he can't win Player of the Year. But
Of course he can win
should
Player of the Year.
Henderson should win it though.
No,
apparently.
no. KDB could have easily as well. Van Dijk could.
Who's your,
Like this-
who is your player?
I
of the year
said
so
from
far?
the start of the season, I said KDB's going
Who's
to be on
yours?
a revenge tour this year.
Who's your player of the year so far?
Bro, they should cancel the Player of the Year this year, mate. No
This
one's
guy's a
playing at standard
hater.
like that.
This guy's a
Cool.
hater.
You know what?
Start of the
No one's
season.
playing at standard like that.
We'll reload
We
the
ain't got
tapes.
much time. There isn't going to get on. We're talking about people playing at levels now, but Premier League families introducing the Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool. Which sent
Long
sent
overdue.
online into a
Long
frenzy.
overdue.
And the way it's working is there's 2 people that are going to get nominated first, and then fans can vote for the next people and whatnot. So the question is, in terms of, we'll do per position next, but in terms of the 2 that you would nominate first, who would you nominate and where?
The first 2. It's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward. I think same for everyone. All-time top goal scorer, Alan Shearer. And then I think the guy who's won the most, played the most, got the most assists, Ryan Giggs.
Well, that's what I've got written down.
Yeah, like those 2 for me are a shoe, and I don't think anyone can even debate it.
Yeah, I would agree. The reason why I go, like, you see when it's like the first inductees, yeah, we know those two are not the best players to play in the league. But when it comes to the first inductees, I feel like there needs to be kind of a bit of a sentiment to it.
A
there
homage
needs to be
kind of paint.
It needs to be like who people paved the way and
way.
stuff. Like for Ryan Giggs was there from day one, literally induction.
The
day.
birth of it.
He was there from induction day. He's won the second most appearances, most assists. Like, and
he represents what the Premier League is.
Exactly, and
And
even
to
so,
a certain
like,
extent, without Shearer, we wouldn't get everyone else following what the Premier League would be. So
and when you
it's
look at
almost
the
a
first,
no-brainer.
if you look at who the first like
Premier League icons.
who the first wonder kid
was Ryan Giggs.
it was Ryan
What
Giggs.
with the little hairy chest bump, little
when you
mad
think
lad.
about who the first wonder kid was, when you
Yeah.
think about who the first what was I gonna say, like the birth of the class of '92 and all that. There's
Yeah.
so much
First
stuff that
one to
goes
break
into it.
through, yeah.
When you think about Premier League legends, like that should be at the very top.
He's-
I know
he-
people
he-
they
like-
lose their ratings of him because of longevity, blah blah blah. But listen,
I think they define.
But this is what I say. People just look at the numbers, but hey,
Shearer,
They
again,
define a Premier League era as well for me, and it's like
was it
no matter
13
what,
13 leagues?
yeah, no matter what
That's
you
it,
do, if you look at within sort of from 2010 going backwards, you will see those two involved in the
in so much
beginning.
stuff. And when you look at it, like, you know how I'm sure they got this inspiration from basketball, right? And when you look at basketball, like, okay, yeah, Michael Jordan's the best or whatever.
Yeah.
But before you nominate
Barkley and them,
nominate Michael Jordan, please show respect to Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Show respect to Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
You got to show. That's how I see it. Henry's the
You have
best,
to pay homage.
in my opinion.
But
Giggs
you have to
and
pay
Shearer
homage,
got to go
yeah.
just before him. That's
100%.
You've got to
Now
set the
that's
foundation.
what I was gonna ask next. What is the barometer to get in the Hall of Fame? Is it like because if it's just gonna be a fan
all I'm
vote
gonna
type
say
of
is-
thing?
fan vote apparently only from next year. I think
Yeah. All I'm going to say is to address the
vote.
elephant in the room.
Okay.
Gerrard does count as a Hall of Famer. To address the elephant in the
That
room.
is the one
That's a-
crazy
that's a
thing I've
silly-
been
that's a
seeing.
silly-
He
rolling
does.
around, and I'm
If you
like,
think that
stop
because
it.
someone hasn't won a league that they don't
Yeah.
get in, he's a Hall of Fame.
he's a Hall of
That's
Fame.
like saying NBA Iverson doesn't get in Hall
Facts.
of Fame. It
But look
doesn't
how
make
legendary
sense.
he is.
Doesn't
Like,
make sense. In
Gerrard's
terms
a
of
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame is for legends or people that are iconic that kind of represent what the league was.
Gareth Barry, he's a Hall of Famer, you know.
He is.
He's
paid for how many clubs?
the consistent
Yeah.
starts or
He's
something
on-
like that
yeah.
in a row or
Yeah.
some shit.
I can think
Longevity.
of the thing about Gareth Barry is I can probably think of 50
The thing
Premier
is though,
League
he's
players
won
before I think about
titles with
Gareth
City
Barry.
as well.
He's
No.
not even in the top 100.
That's
No,
what I mean.
but hey, what I'm saying in
100%,
terms
yeah.
of, but why that point is right is because when it comes to Hall of Fame, like sometimes you get people that go into Hall of Fame that are not these kind of
He's
glitz
not
and
even
glamour
retired yet.
people.
That's what's making me laugh. Everyone's been talking about
He's in
Gareth
the
Barry.
championship
guy
with
still
West
plays
Brom,
for West
innit?
Yeah, they're not.
He
they're not
can't even
always-
get nominated.
chugging along.
People forget him, man.
No, he's slugging it out.
Bro, God
Look.
forbid he passes away, yeah. But Gareth Barry's one of them players that will only get nominated when something like that
Yeah,
happens.
something
God
mad,
forbid. I
yeah.
don't want that
Yeah,
to happen
yeah,
to him.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
but
he's not going to
That's
get
like James
nominated.
Milner as well.
Yeah, they're
James
not gonna
Milner
get
and Gareth
Them
Barry
man
in the
there.
same
But
sort
so
of-
that's for me.
They're
That's
loyal
those are the kind of
servants of the
guys.
Premier
Do
League.
they get neglected from the Hall of Fame or
No, they will. They'll get in eventually.
They gotta get
They'll
their
get in
dues as well.
retrospect.
Yeah.
But what they do is you pay homage to these guys, and then you start getting like your Henry and that, and then as you're going along,
Yeah.
because obviously the Kanes and that wouldn't have been retired yet, so you start giving these guys that have been
Yeah.
servants.
Do you know what I think they should do? They should also induct teams. That would be like, it'd be different from the NBA one, because the NBA don't induct teams into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. As in,
So
like, okay.
this team is in the Hall of Fame, like 99 United.
Only thing is,
I
you
don't wanna
only
see
get
that.
you only get a selected few. They're not gonna be like
Salman
Bolton's
Pango
Big
and that.
Sam's team is Hall of Fame.
No,
That's
I think-
what's gonna
no, I
start
think-
happening
no, I
though.
think
Like
that could
Leeds'
work.
semi-final team.
No. Do
Yes.
you know why I think that could work? Because something like Sheffield United, because they're never going to get no praise ever for what they've done this season. But what they've done this season is nuts. If they finish in Europe from getting promoted, that is Hall of Fame worthy.
Bro,
That-
nah,
that's
Nottingham
not-
Forest
I
coming out
hear that.
and
Yeah,
winning the
sure.
league and Champions League.
But the
That's
thing,
Hall
is,
of Fame.
the thing is, if we're gonna do this, it's gonna turn into semantics
sixth
and
place.
let's give this person this flowers.
It's
and that,
gonna be like who-
at the end of
how
the
much
day,
you
a
watch
Hall
it.
of Fame is there
And as
because
well,
it's like let's recognize what is symbolic of what this establishment is,
Yeah.
and that is greatness and longevity and serving. That's why.
So if we were to do it by like position, like in terms of like who would go into like,
first
for
two strikers, first two midfielders, first defenders, and first goalkeeper. For me, first two strikers, Shearer, Henry, no brainer.
Of course, yeah. All-time
No
top goal
brainer.
scorer, best foreign import.
Yeah.
Easy.
In terms of
Midfielders.
midfielders, that one's a bit tricky. Giggs and Keane for me.
Oh,
What the?
I
Actually,
go Keane
oh,
as well.
Gigs and yeah, I would have gone Lamps.
You'd have gone Lamps. Lamps.
I'd have gone
one of
Lamps.
my
Lamps
favorite-
is high there
Lamps
for
is
me, but
probably
I
my
would've
favorite
gone
player
Because
ever.
he's
But
like, and I'm not even like a wasn't a massive fan of Lamps, but 187 goals, like
I
Yeah.
hear you. The reason why
I can't argue it. I'm not going to argue Lamps.
Like-
I'm not even going to argue Lamps.
three times he was
for
the
me-
assist leader as well.
For me,
I
I've
saw
put
some
look,
shit
Giggs,
like that,
Keane, Lamp. For me, the reason why it's so difficult is if you look at no
So it's
one's
not just-
apart from John Terry, he's lifted the most times. Again,
As a
like what we
captain.
said as a captain, that's what we said about Shearer in terms of what represents that era. Lampard represents kind of like, I wouldn't say second gen, but Roy Keane was in that pivotal bit, and then Lampard. You get where I'm coming from. So
Yeah.
I think Keane would have to get in before Lampard gets in.
Nah,
I can't lie.
I can't
lie.
do that.
I think
I can't do that.
The way I see it, the reason why I say Roy Keane, and the thing is, people are just going to look at it as
And I
who's the
think
best,
Roy Keane
who's the
gets
best or
underrated a
whatever.
lot. Yeah.
The reason why I say, the reason why I say, because mine's still working, yeah. The reason why I say Roy Keane is because through the 90s, there wasn't a player that dominated the 90s like Roy Keane.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The way he dominated the 90s to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He had a run, that's insane.
He was a lead, like he was the boss
Don't
of
get
the
me wrong,
Premier
Lampard
League.
had
You know
a
what I'm
run,
saying?
but there
And
was
he's
more
part
guys.
of, and let's not get twisted, he's part of the most iconic rivalry in Prem history.
100%.
Do
Do you know what I mean?
Vieira.
Him and
Yeah,
Vieira.
yeah.
You can't think of Prem. You cannot think of Prem
That's
without
what I'm
Roy
talking
Keane and
about.
Vieira.
So when you're
You can't-
talking
and the thing
about
is, Lampard
that first
is better than him,
inductee,
in my
of course,
opinion.
but it's not about who's better. This is not about who's better. and
I
that's
think
what
you
I'm
just
saying.
got to pay homage to the one.
Before.
I just think
I can
it'll
hear
be
it. No,
mad
I
dis-
can hear
Pay
it. I
homage
can
to the
hear
ones
it.
that
But
came before you. Like without those guys, we don't get where we
yeah,
are
fuck
now.
Lamps.
Don't get it twisted.
Hey, behave.
Players like Vieira, all these players are going to be in the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. Everyone's going to get in.
Yeah,
Defenders.
eventually. Yeah.
Defenders, first two defenders.
But yeah, I
people.
hear that. Maybe Lamps goes in with the Vieiras and
Yeah, that's what I'm
coming
saying.
after.
But I
Yeah,
think
no.
Giggs and Keane have to go in there. The
I
annoying
just
thing
think when
is,
you
Bay
hear
United
Keane
guys
first
get in.
time round, you're just
Bay
like, I
United-
don't know.
Bay
I don't
United
know.
get in.
For me, the obvious. For me, the
Yeah.
defenders.
Skulls in there before Keane.
Skulls, I can hear that.
Yeah,
Shout-
I'd even say Scholes.
It's so hard with the midfielders.
I'd say
It's so
Scholes.
hard.
I'd
There's
give
so many.
Scholes a hit.
But when I look at it, right, with the defenders, like you've got John Terry, you've got Rio Ferdinand for me, and with John Terry's solid. Do you know what I mean? John Terry's solid.
no
Won the
brainer.
titles.
It's
He's
the-
John
no
Terry.
He is the
for
Premier
me
League.
was probably the best defender in the Premier League history.
What it
right?
is,
Premier League.
it's the longevity of the consistency.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the length
Constantly
of time he
there.
was so good. And even like later in the years when he was like
Still
35 and he
there.
had
You're
that
still there.
most minutes played in the
Yeah,
Premier League with
you're still
Aspilicueta.
there.
And
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you just can't do like
Longevity.
left foot, right foot, playing out from the back.
And
Like,
again, going back to what
guy
we're
had
saying in
everything.
terms of when you think of what the Premier League is, his dominance was, again, it was
That's
for
the
so
thing,
long,
yeah,
it
it
was
was
iconic. It
dominance,
was
yeah.
like, you know what, Premier League defending was epitomised by what John Terry does.
Well,
It would be a second one though.
Mine would be Rio, and the reason
I've
why
got Rio.
it
Who's
would
yours?
yeah, Rio.
the
easy.
reason why it would be Rio
Rolls
is because
Royce.
you've got to look at like in English football. Yeah, there may have been some. I may be wrong. I know Pallister was a baller. Yeah, but if you look at who was really like a mover
Ball
with the
playing,
ball,
yeah.
ball playing centre back in this country, it was Rio Ferdinand.
Unheard of.
And if you look at he was a world record fee to Leeds. He as a centre back,
British
and he was a
fee, world-
and
British
a world
records.
record for a defender to
Yeah,
Man
to
United.
Man United, yeah.
At a young age as well.
At a young age, he proper epitomizes what a new gen centre half was in the Premier League. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
So-
like he
And
was
again,
for me,
it's
in
that
many ways.
longevity. How many partners did he play with and whatnot? Like, he was
Exactly.
just ever present. For me, the first people to go into Hall of Fame are just like the first
Yeah.
people and ever present people.
we can't say they're the
Goalkeepers-
first because obviously there's Tony Adams
Yeah.
and there's some
No,
people.
of course, but in terms
I
of
think
how
they're
long
just
was Tony Adams
revolutionary,
running
you know what I mean?
in Barkley's PL era if compared to what Ferdinand would have got out of it? Goalkeeper, who you
Because
going?
was he? Well, Ferdinand's got what 6 Premier Leagues as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Who you guys
For
going
me, it's just
for?
he was so ahead of the curve.
Goalkeeper.
For goalkeepers, Schmeichel
He said
and
to him when he
Cech.
had Platts.
That one season,
he-
that was a doping
he
season
said
though,
what?
man. We'll scrap that one
My
out.
team. Who you going for? Who?
Czech and then Schmeichel.
For me, check.
Yeah, I'm going Schmeichel.
And I'd put Czech before Schmeichel.
Is it?
For me,
Yeah.
it's just I've just got check. I just
for-
think again in terms of
Oh, not
dominance.
Schmeichel, no.
No, in terms of with goalkeeper, you're not going to put two in first. You're going to put in one. You know,
I
there's
can't agree that Czech is more dominant than
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, if
No, in terms of
Schmeichel
again,
was
the
scary, bro.
he was, but I'm saying in the length of that run that Chelsea were on, then
was
it like-
mad, but then the
And
defense,
again, like you said, it was
Jose's
epitomised.
tactics.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're saying it's
But some of them
epitomised,
saves.
you're saying
we're talking pre-helmet check
exactly,
here as well.
and you're saying that it's
Pre- helmet
when he
check,
had
oi.
when the helmet
Different.
was off,
different.
class.
And you only start giving
no
him the
safety.
Remember when you're giving him the luminous kit to make him look bigger? Mad shit.
That's when he got the helmet. He needed
before the
aid
helmet.
and I'm trying
Man
to
said
put
he needed
strikers
aid,
off.
But for
Lord
me,
have mercy.
Schmeichel was a world level, like literally a world level keeper. Like
Scary.
He won. I know this is the Premier League, but he won the Euros of Denmark or whatever.
1990.
Like, bro,
You weren't even bored.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Going into the archives.
But it's the truth. Though. Like in
We're
terms
talking
of
PL era.
look at what he done in the PL with Manchester United.
course,
yeah.
Alex Ferguson, his own words, that's one of my most important signings.
Of course.
He was.
I think the prototype of what you wanted as a keeper as well. Back then, anyway, he was the guy, I think, to build. And I think a lot of these players that are going in there, that's the thing for me. They set the precedent for
what came after,
is to come.
of
Like
course.
Rio Ferdinand set the template for what a centre back is now.
Shearer was set for the
dealing
strikers.
with these big
Obviously, it's
fees
changed
and
now, but-
all of this. Rio was dealing with that before. Like even with the midfielders we put in, like a lot of the Henry. How many players now try and sort of are that drifting
dribbler.
out wide? Aubameyang. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Shearer was the striker before all of these Defoes and them man
Rio's
came in.
Van Dijk.
Shearer for me is probably the
talk,
only one
grandfather.
that's kind of like in that era that I don't think can be Kane to a certain extent, but is a
No, but
lesser.
think about-
Kane,
in terms of-
Shearer
he's just scoring goals. That's what he's doing.
But again,
He's just a thriller.
But look
That's
at
what he is.
Shearer
but-
was like
But after
power,
that,
bro.
Exactly.
The
But
man
after that,
was headed from outside the box.
how many strikers were like, you know what? Yeah, I need to start scoring goals. Like strikers were trying, like the
Bro.
Defoes, all these man.
Nah,
Like, if you look at
I wouldn't say that's the birth of Shearer.
No.
I want to score
Nah.
goals. Me, I was
No.
scoring goals when I was 3 years old.
No, I'm saying in terms of what he was doing numbers wise
Yeah.
and whatnot in the Premier League. Even like not playing for top clubs and
You
getting
can say the
goals.
standard bearer,
That is
yeah.
the standard
The
bearer for
standard. I
strikers that
wouldn't say
came
he
afterwards. No,
inspired
the
people,
standard
Nah,
bearer.
he inspired the
No,
Kevin
sorry.
Phillips and them, man.
What the
Them
Kevin
man
Kevin
there.
Nolan?
You reckon they
the
shit
celebration-
house strikers, bro.
You reckon they because you know Ian Wright, he has a little generation of youths, you know, he's got
Of
the
course.
Defoes and all
Yeah,
them
yeah.
like little man like that.
Yeah.
But Shearer he's just banging goals.
They're
fam.
mid-table strikers. Well, go on,
Ooh,
say,
yeah, but he just banged.
No, too.
You know them Benz, them man looked up to Ian Wright.
Them man got
They
PL
didn't quite
them man
make
got
it.
PL goals,
They
they got
ain't
100
playing
goals.
championship football. Dead
listen,
ballers.
That's
Bradley
another
Wright Phillips, you
episode,
know,
man.
MLS and that,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
MLS all-time
Hey.
scorer and that.
Let me not.
That's another
say too
episode.
much.
Don't even
Serious.
do
Let
it.
me not.
Serious.
City League Cup 3-peat, hold out them. Corona affecting football in Italy, mad thing.
Oh, what Grealish now? You don't wanna?
Unlucky today, mate. Unlucky today. You're getting your move in
That's
the
the
summer.
Grealish news today.
You're getting your move in the summer.
No, you deserve a drink.
We don't worry about
Give me
it.
some out.
Oh man,
Some
you know what? That's another episode of Stoppage Time TV, man. We're out of here, man.
Furious.
Chin chin.
Nice little episode.